I am a rather elderly man. The nature of my avocations for the last 30 years has brought me into more than ordinary contact with what would seem an interesting and somewhat singular set of men, of whom, as yet, nothing that I know of has ever been written. I mean the law copyists or scriveners. I have known very many of them, professionally and privately, and, if I pleased, could relate divers histories at which good-natured gentlemen might smile, and sentimental souls might weep. But I waive the biographies of all other scriveners for a few passages in the life of Bartleby, who was a scrivener, the strangest I ever saw or heard of. Bartleby was one of those beings of whom nothing is ascertainable, except from one of the original sources, and, in his case, those are very small. What my own astonished eyes saw of Bartleby, that is all I know of him. At the period just preceding the advent of Bartleby, I had 2 persons as copyists in my employment, and a promising lad as an office boy. First, Turkey; second, Nippers; and third, Ginger Nut. These may seem names, the like of which are not usually found in the directory. In truth, they were nicknames, mutually conferred upon each other by my 3 clerks, and were deemed expressive of their respective persons or characters. Nippers was a whiskered, sallow, and, upon the whole, rather piratical-looking young man of about 25. I always deemed him the victim of 2 evil powers, ambition and indigestion. The ambition was envied by a certain impatience of the duties of a mere copyist, an unwarrantable usurpation of strictly professional affairs, such as the original drawing up of legal documents. The indigestion seemed betokened in an occasional nervous testiness and grinning irritability, causing the teeth to audibly grind together over mistakes committed in the copying, unnecessary maledictions, hissed rather than spoken in the heat of business, and especially by a continual discontent with the height of the table where he worked. The irritability and consequent nervousness of Nippers were mainly observable in the morning, while in the afternoon he was comparatively mild. Ginger Nut was a lad some 12 years old. His father was a carman ambitious of seeing his son on the bench instead of a cart before he died, so he sent him to my office as a student at law, errand boy, cleaner, and sweeper, at the rate of $1 a week. He had a little desk to himself, but he did not use it much. Upon inspection, the drawer exhibited a great array of shells of various sorts of nuts. Indeed, to this quick-witted youth, the whole noble science of the law was contained in the nutshell. Not the least among the employments of Ginger Nut, as well as one which he discharged with the most alacrity, was his duty as cake and apple purveyor for Turkey and Nippers. Turkey was a short, pursy Englishman of about my own age, that is, somewhere not far from 60. In the morning, one might say his face was of a fine, florid hue, but after 12 o'clock meridian, his dinner hour, it blazed like a grate full of Christmas coals, and continued blazing, but as it were, with their gradual wane until 6 o'clock p.m. or thereabouts, after which I saw no more of the proprietor of the face, which, gaining its meridian with the sun, seemed to set with it, to rise, culminate, and decline the following day, with the like regularity of undiminished glory. Nevertheless, as he was in many ways the most valuable person to me, and all the time before 12 o'clock meridian, was the quickest, steadiest creature too, accomplishing a great deal of work in a style not easily to be matched.
With submission, sir, I consider myself your right-hand man. In the morning I would marshal and deploy my columns, but in the afternoon I put myself at their head and gallantly charge the foe with us.
But the blots, Turkey.
True, but with submission, sir, I behold these hairs. I'm getting old. Surely, sir, a blot or two one afternoon is not severely urged against gray hairs. Old age, even if a blot the page is on them. With submission, sir, we're both getting old.
In this very attitude did I sit when I called to him, rapidly stating what it was that I wanted him to do, namely to examine a small paper with me. Imagine my surprise, nay, my consternation, when, without moving from his privacy, Bartleby, in a singularly mild, firm voice, replied,
I would prefer not to.
Bartleby, examine the paper.
I would prefer not to.
Prefer not to? What do you mean? Are you moonstruck? All I want you to do is help me compare this paper with this one right here. Here, take it.
I would prefer not to.
How may I help you? Who would you prefer to speak with? Oh, I'm sorry, he's not in right now. May I take a message? Okay. And your name is Jerry Murray. And thank you and have a wonderful day.
At first, Bartleby did an extraordinary quantity of writing. He ran a day and night line, copying by sunlight and by candlelight, but he wrote on silently, palely, and mechanically. Bartleby concluded 4 lengthy documents, being quadruplicates of a week's testimony taken before me in my High Court of Chancery. It became necessary to examine them. It was an important suit, and great accuracy was imperative. Having all things arranged, I called Turkey, Nippers, and Gingernut from the next room, meaning to place the 4 copies in the hands of my 4 clerks, while I should roof them in original. Accordingly, Turkey, Nippers, and Gingernut had taken their seats in a row, each with his document in his hand, when I called Bartleby to join this interesting group.